When I saw my application at Innovatech's official presentation, I realized something horrible. My best friend didn't just steal my idea. He recorded every single one of our conversations for months. It all started with a message. "Alex, I have a surprise for you. Want to meet at the bar?" Let's go back 6 months. San Francisco, my tiny office, a big dream. Connectify, my revolutionary app for job searching. Instead of boring resumes, it offered interactive profiles. In seconds, you could find the right expert or the job of your dreams. I worked every night. I sacrificed sleep, money, and my social life. Every line of code was my blood. Every feature was a piece of my soul. I knew it would be a success. But I needed advice, legal help. And that's when I thought of Tom. Tom Harrison, my best friend since our freshman year at UC Berkeley. We wrote our theses together, celebrated victories together, and got through our losses together. After graduation, he landed a job at Innovatech, a giant in the IT industry. Ambitious, smart, someone I trusted like my own self. March 17th, 2024. Our favorite bar, the Tech Hub. I opened my laptop and showed him the prototype. "Tom, look at this. This will change everything." His eyes lit up. But now I understand. It wasn't joy for me. It was greed. "Wow, Alex. Tell me more about the algorithm. How do you plan to monetize? What are your plans for patents?" I thought he wanted to help. So I told him everything. Every detail. Every idea. Every plan. And he recorded it all. On his phone. Everything. But I only found out 2 months later, when it was already too late, when he already... What do you think of friends like that? Write in the comments if you've ever faced a similar betrayal. Because what happened next broke my life forever. The next day, Tom started acting strange.
The next morning, my phone rang at 7:30. Tom never called that early. "Alex, I can't stop thinking about your Connectify. It's a real breakthrough. Tom, I'm so glad you like it. Tell me again about the sorting algorithm. I want to better understand the technical part." Now I realize it wasn't curiosity. It was reconnaissance. The next 2 months became a hell of hidden manipulation. Tom called every day. He invited me for coffee, for lunch, for friendly get-togethers. "Alex, how exactly does the geolocation feature work? Show me the user interface again. What are your plans for funding?" I, a naive fool, told him everything. I showed him the code. I shared my business plan. I even gave him access to the GitHub repository for consultation. And what about him? He was recording, taking photos, copying. But there were strange moments. When Tom asked overly specific questions like, "What if someone launches a similar app before you?" "What do you mean?" "Oh, just curious. The market's competitive, you know." Why did he constantly talk about competition? Why did he ask about my weak points? Why was he interested in how much money I had for legal protection? May 15th, 2024. Tom invited me for coffee downtown, a fancy restaurant we usually avoided. "Alex, I have news. I got a huge promotion." "Tom, that's fantastic. Tell me." "Vice President of New Product Development. And you know what? My first project is going to be revolutionary." My heart started to beat faster. Something was wrong. "Tom, how exactly will it work?" "Interactive profiles instead of resumes, an instant sorting algorithm, geolocation for searching." It was my idea, word for word, feature by feature. $1 million of my work stolen by my best friend. What would you do in a situation like that? Leave a comment. How would you react to such a betrayal? But the most horrible thing was yet to come. I got up from the table without saying a word. My legs carried me to the exit on their own. Tom was shouting behind me. "Alex, where are you going? We're not finished." I couldn't look at him. I couldn't listen to him describe my dream as his project. I didn't sleep all night. At 6 in the morning, I dialed his number. "Alex, so early. Listen, I knew you'd call." "Tom, it's my idea. You stole it." "Stole it? Alex, I saved it." "Saved it? You're too naive for this business, too soft. You would have never launched this idea on your own." These words were worse than a knife in the back. Someone I'd trusted for 5 years was calling me a loser. "You have no right." "I do. You see, Alex, I recorded everything. Every conversation we've had over the last 2 months. What did you say?" 42 hours of audio recordings, detailed discussions of every feature. You yourself told me everything about your unique idea. And now I have all the evidence that this idea was born during our joint discussions. Legally, I'm clean. Tom, we're friends. We were friends. Friendship is one thing. Business is something else entirely. Innovatech has the resources to execute this idea properly. Millions of dollars in funding, a team of 200 developers, a marketing budget of $50 million. And what do you have? A small office and $20,000 in savings? Alex, be realistic. In that moment, I understood. Tom had been planning this for months. Every question, every meeting, every friendly call, everything was part of a plan. I'll never forgive you. You don't have to. A year from now, you'll thank me when you see how successfully we've launched this app. I hung up. My life fell apart in one conversation. But I didn't know the worst was yet to come. A week later, a lawyer called me.
"Mr. Richardson, this is the law firm Morrison & Associates. We represent the corporation Innovatech. The documents sent to you require an immediate response. May 22, 2024. An envelope with the logo of California's most expensive law firm lay on my desk like a death sentence. A lawsuit for intellectual property infringement, an accusation of industrial espionage, a demand for compensation, $2.5 million. They were accusing me of stealing my own idea. I hired a lawyer, Jason Miller, young but talented. When he reviewed the documents, his face changed. "Alex, they have recordings of your conversations, 42 hours of audio, detailed discussions of every app feature." But I was the one who told him about my idea. Legally, it looks like a joint development of the concept, and since he was the first to file documents with the patent office, Tom had outplayed me even legally. While I thought I had a friend and a consultant, he was gathering evidence against me. The lawsuit read, "Mr. Richardson systematically stole ideas from Innovatech employee Tom Harrison, presenting them as his own developments." The most horrible part, they had evidence of our university friendship. They mentioned our joint project from our 3rd year. They claimed that even back then I was stealing Tom's ideas. 5 years of friendship had been turned into systematic intellectual parasitism. My world was falling apart piece by piece. I lost my job. Who would hire a thief? I couldn't pay my rent. The lawyer costs $500 an hour. But I didn't give up. With Jason's help, we started our own investigation, and we found another audio recording. Tom made a mistake. On one of his recordings, you could hear a conversation with a colleague. That naive Alex told me about his app. Now I'll outdo him and launch first. This phrase changed everything. Tom admitted the idea was mine, but he didn't know his phone was recording everything, including his own conversations with colleagues. We had proof of his betrayal, but Tom wasn't going to give up either. Do you believe in justice? Can a small person beat a corporation? Write in the comments, how would you fight for your idea? What happened in court shocked even the judge.
October 15th, 2024, San Francisco District Court. The case of Innovatech versus Richardson. Tom sat at the defendant's table in an expensive suit. Next to him, a team of 5 lawyers. Jason and I looked like David versus Goliath. The court is hearing the case of intellectual property infringement. The first 2 hours were a disaster. Innovatech's lawyers presented all of our recordings, every detail I had told Tom, every feature of Connectify. Tom gave his testimony with the confidence of a winner. The idea was born during our joint brainstorming sessions. Mr. Richardson is distorting the facts. I felt defeated until Jason stood up. Your Honor, I call a witness for the defense, Sarah Thompson. Sarah, my former classmate. We hadn't spoken in 3 years after an unpleasant breakup. Why was she here? Your Honor, I work as a system administrator at Cloud Secure. I have access to backup copies of the Berkeley University servers. Ms. Thompson, did you find anything interesting in the archives? Yes, Alex Richardson's thesis, defended on June 15, 2019. Topic, Interactive Professional Networking Systems. I quote, "Traditional resumes are outdated. The future belongs to interactive profiles where the algorithm automatically sorts candidates by geolocation and skills." That thesis was written 5 years before my conversations with Tom. I described the same concept that became the basis of Connectify. Objection! This document could be a forgery. The university's digital signature, the hash function, the file's creation metadata, everything confirms authenticity. Tom turned pale. His lawyer started nervously whispering. Ms. Thompson, is Tom Harrison's name mentioned in this work? No, not once. This is Alex Richardson's personal project. Order in the court. But the strangest thing was why Sarah helped me. After the session, I approached her. Sarah, why? We haven't spoken in years. Tom contacted me a month ago. He asked me to delete your thesis from the archives for a reward. He said it would help him with some business. That's when I understood someone was trying to set you up, and I decided to figure it out myself. Tom didn't just steal my idea. He tried to destroy all the evidence that it was mine. But he made a fatal mistake. He tried to bribe a person who once loved me. Do you believe in karma? Do traitors get what they deserve? The court's verdict was true revenge.
Based on the presented evidence, the court finds that the plaintiff, Tom Harrison, is guilty of intellectual property theft. The defendant, Alex Richardson, is recognized as the legal author of the concept for an interactive professional networking platform. November 28, 2024. A verdict that changed everything. Compensation for emotional damages, $1 2/10 million. Return of all profits from the use of the stolen idea, $3 8/10 million. In addition, Mr. Harrison is dismissed from his position as Vice President of Innovatech and is banned from working in the IT industry for a period of 3 years. As we left the court, Tom caught up with me on the stairs. Alex,
Don't, Tom. You made your choice. I thought I was doing what was best for both of us. Innovatech had the resources. You were thinking about yourself. 5 years of friendship versus career ambitions, and you chose money. That was our last conversation. Tom moved to another state. I heard he works at a small IT company for minimum wage. And what about me? February 15th, 2025, I launched Connectify. My own company, my own team, my own dream. In the first 3 months, 100,000 users. In 6 months, 1 million. Sarah joined the team as a technical director. It turned out our old feelings hadn't completely burned out, and our joint fight for justice only strengthened them. You know what I realized? The betrayal of my best friend was the best thing that could have happened to me. Tom truly wasn't able to execute ideas. At Innovatech, Connect Pro failed 6 months after launch. A corporate machine kills creativity. But I created what I dreamed of, a living, flexible platform that truly helps people find the job of their dreams. But the biggest lesson isn't about business. It's about people. True friends are happy for your success, not stealing it. True friends help you realize your dreams, not appropriate them. If you have an idea, protect it. Legally, technically, personally. But most importantly, be careful who you trust. Not everyone who calls themselves a friend truly is one. And if you've faced a similar betrayal in your life, fight. Justice exists. Sometimes it needs a little help, but it always wins. Write in the comments, have you ever experienced a similar betrayal in your life? How did you fight it? And don't forget to subscribe. I have many more stories about how a small person can beat the system.